gotta make it out to Vegas, where the lights shine bright. Vegas, in the clear desert night. Vegas, where they can make you a star. Vegas, at the NFR.
NFR Extra is a podcast dedicated to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo and features icons and personalities that embody the Western lifestyle.
You are a part of something that you can't help but feel and be connected to. And if you've been in rodeo and cowboy life your entire life, you're just in heaven. It's just everything you want, the sounds, the energy, the announcers, by the way. And I brought a friend of mine from Seattle who has never been to a rodeo in his entire life. And he just was in awe. He goes, "What is this world?" I said, "Welcome to it. You're never going to forget it."
This is Brylan Bentley, and you're listening to NFR Extra.
Well, our guest today has a huge smile on his face and a good-looking felt cowboy hat. Sorry you can't see that on the podcast, but we're so glad to be joined by Storme Warren today. Storme, how are things?
Things could not be better. Happy 2026. Probably the last time we all saw each other was just at the end of 2025 at the NFR in Vegas. And wow, I can't wait to get back. If they'll have me.
Oh, I know they will. and we were actually talking to Bo Gardner just a little bit about the preparations for 2026 and the massive success for Storme Sessions. So tell us a little bit about how the show came together and how you felt as it grew through the 10 days of the NFR.
Bo's mutual friend of mine is Shane Miner. He's a singer, songwriter, artist, and he hosts his own show at the NFR at Cowboy Christmas. And so Shane called me and goes, "Hey, Bo Gardner wants to get in touch with you about maybe doing something part of the NFR this year." And I'm like, okay. I mean, I've been to the NFR enough to know that an invitation to come out and do what I do at one of the biggest sporting events in the world for 10 days. Yeah, that sounds like a really cool thing. What am I going to do? Say no? And also it's around my people. I grew up in Oklahoma. I've been around cowboy life my entire life and country music my entire life. So to combine the worlds in Las Vegas for 10 days, it really was just like Disneyland for me.
Cowboy Christmas is quite like Disneyland. What was your first impression when you got in there?
And just as expensive, too.
Yes. Absolutely. No parking either.
Oh.
I had been to the rodeo. I have been to the shows during the NFR. I had never in my life been to Cowboy Christmas until this year.
Oh.
And I'm sure everybody who's listening to this podcast knows exactly what Cowboy Christmas is. I did not. And so I said, okay, we're going across the street to the convention center and we just walk in and there's going to be, I don't know, a stage and a couple of vendors. And then you walk in and it's 2 stories of mile-long exhibition halls filled with every trinket, cowboy, cowgirl, vehicle, knife, gun, hat, bullets.
Yeah.
You name it. And jewelry. I mean, I bought jewelry and Christmas presents at Cowboy Christmas. That's what it's for. And it worked. But it was neat because my session was about an hour and a half long each day, where I would just sit down with big country artists like Riley Green or Joe Nichols, and we would do a Q&A, and then they'd play a few songs. So once that was over, my day was kind of over until the rodeo. So I spent every day wandering up and down the aisles of Cowboy Christmas, just in awe. And not just in awe of all the trinkets and all the vendors, but the amount of people that are in that exhibition hall just wandering around. I mean, I've never seen that many people for that kind of a bizarre, I guess is what you would call it.
Well, and give or take, The number that we've been told is over 340,000 people came in and out of Cowboy Christmas. And you're right. The cool thing is, and this is what I always tell people that have never been before, you can buy a ready-made chili packet. Like if you want to make chili for $1.50, or you can buy a $500,000 horse trailer. Anything in between, I mean, that's literally the range of things at Cowboy Christmas. And that's what makes it so awesome.
I almost bought a $6,000 leather rocking chair designed by Kid Rock.
That'd be pretty good.
It's really cool, but I got nixed on that by my wife. I took a picture of it and sent it to her, and she was like, "Cute, no."
Dang wives.
So, what did you learn from year one on your show, and what do you kind of look forward to for next year?
Well, what I love is the fans. I love the people who attend NFR Cowboy Christmas. They're just the biggest hearted, down to earth, beautiful people. Just really wonderful, wonderful humans. And so it just made me happy to be around just great people and to be able to bring and celebrate country music artists with that fan base. It just meant the world to me. And the ones I brought onto the show are my dear friends. And that will continue into 2026. It's just, we're just going to have a blast. I mean, my gosh, we had the Bellamy brothers, Riley Green, Joe Nichols. We had so many wonderful artists that just came through the door. And this is an inside baseball thing. This is going to be just kind of a funny story about this. And Bo, if he's going to listen to this, he's going to kill me. But this is really funny. So months ago, in early 2025, he asked me to come do this, and I'm like, absolutely. He goes, "What am I doing?" And he goes, "Oh, you're hosting just what you do. Your Q&A session, and they'll play a few songs." So I went, done. So I didn't think anything more of it till about 3 weeks before, and he calls me and goes, "So who you got?"
Long pause.
Where was the part about booking the sessions in my request? So I had to go on about a 3-week mass scramble, calling all my buddies and saying, "Okay, who's going to be in Vegas? Where are they playing? What can I do? What can I do?" Fortunately, everybody said yes, and it all worked out. But Bo and I have laughed about it, actually, so I'm not calling them out. It was just really funny that 3 weeks before. So who you got?
We heard you were also on a mad dash for a guitar as well.
Yes. Yeah, there was some technical things that we did not anticipate, but we figured all that out now. So new things for 2026 is we're actually going to be videoing all these sessions now.
Okay.
So that we're going to put them up on our YouTube channel, and that everybody can be a part of it, whether you're there at Cowboy Christmas or not. And then we will continue to air these on the Big 615 on TuneIn and have a lot more fun. And what I think happened was, as usually does at a first-time event, I mean, probably people saw Storme Sessions on the schedule and went, "I don't know what a Storme Session is. Why would I want to go there?"
Right.
And then by day 2, day 3, day 4, it started to build and build. And when Riley Green came in, you couldn't fit another body in Cowboy Christmas at all. I mean, he bled into all the vendors. It bled way out. So I think this year, because people are pretty much repeat offenders at NFR, right? I mean,
Yes.
there's some new people come, but it's a lot of repeat. So the ones who came know what it is now. And so I think it's even going to be bigger and better.
What's the biggest difference that you see between a live event like this one? Because obviously you've done other live events, but live events versus traditional radio.
It's just obviously the live in-person connection with an audience. When you're talking on a microphone in a box, you can pretend that you're talking to the audience and know that they're listening. But it's so much more fun for me to be on a stage and looking into the eyes of the people and getting the reaction and seeing who's connecting, who's not, and how to connect with them. And being able to do that, whether it's in front of 20 people or 200,000 people, it's the same approach in front of a live audience. People have asked me all the time, I said, "Do you ever get nervous on stage?" I said, "No. The weirdest thing about me, and it's probably some sort of psychological problem that I need to look to, but I'm actually more comfortable on a stage in front of 100,000 people than I am behind a microphone in a box in a studio.
Really?
Yeah.
And see,
100%.
For me personally, I get more nervous in front of my hometown people. Like I would rather announce a rodeo than have to speak at like a PTA meeting because, I know.
Well, there is a difference there. Let's agree on that one. I'll get asked to speak to a high school, and I'm more nervous about going to speak to 20 kids in a high school classroom than I am to go up on stage in front of 100,000 people.
I understand.
I don't know why. Help me understand that one. Do you have an answer for that?
I think everybody is famous in your hometown, right? So you get judged the hardest where you live.
It's that already existing connection, right? Because you have that knowing there's going to be a response from it, where that 100,000 group, you won't ever see them again. So there's no judgment. You're like, hey, I'm here. What's up, guys?
Okay, you know what? Well put. And that's also when I speak to a high school or a middle school, it's more nerve-wracking than speaking to a college. Because these kids are just judging whoever goes into that room to speak just out of the gate
immediately. So
it's like you've lost the battle by the time you've walked into the room.
Immediately.
Middle school is the worst. Sorry, kids. I hope you grow up quickly.
That's so funny.
So your career obviously has spanned across multiple platforms, but I want to know a little bit more about
as has yours, by the way.
Well, I want to know
for a long time, by the way. So
well, thank you, but I really want to know more about what you're doing now and the connection with Garth.
So I was on Sirius XM for 17 years on the highway, and then I had my own TV show for about 15 years before that on GAC, and worked for TNN before that, and CNN before that, and radio before that. But when that 17-year run at Sirius XM came to a contract ending, we were renegotiating, re-up, and just continue the run. But someone by the name of Garth Brooks figured out that my contract was up, and he wanted to start his own radio platform. So he texted me and he goes, "Hey, call me when you wake up." And I'm like, "I do a morning show, Garth. I've been up 4 hours already." And so I called him after the show, and he goes, "Hey, pal, I've waited a long time to ask you this question, but I'm starting something up on a platform called TuneIn." I said, "I know a TuneIn. I'm a sports fan. If you're a sports fan, you have the TuneIn app on your phone already, and music and everything. There are 100,000 channels on TuneIn, literally 100,000 channels on TuneIn." And they started creating their own platform of original programming, and they asked Garth to create 3 channels. And so Garth goes, "I need some help with this. Do you know anybody?" And well, my contract's up. And he goes, "Huh." And I'm like, "But I'm guessing you knew that."
You knew that. Yeah. Don't play dumb. You're not an idiot.
Glad you said something.
Oh.
Yeah. He's like, "Really? Yeah. Wow." And I'm just like, "Oh, come on." And so I said yes on the phone right there before asking anybody, including my wife. And I know. And so I called my wife and I said, "Well, we're out of Sirius XM and we're working with Garth Brooks now." And she had that long pause, like,
huh? What do you mean?
Okay. And we've had a great 3-year run, and it's been a blast. And the neat thing is we've built it from the first brick all the way up. I mean, we started with a blank slate. We weren't walking into an existing machine. It was like, if you want to dream it up, we can do it. And so that's been neat. And because it's TuneIn, and because it's a platform that it takes a lot of habit learning for a new audience, we've literally had to go door to door to sell this thing. I mean, just knocking on doors. "Hey, would you listen to our show? Would you?" I mean, it's really tough in this flooded market of the digital world to gather people's attention and break their habits. So that's been a learning curve over the 3 years, but I think we're over the hump. But we've had definitely a blast.
Let's take a quick pause, and we'll be right back. Looking to rope in some news and features you can't find anywhere else? Then look no further than the series of blogs at nfrexperience.com. You'll find customized content from experts in all things rodeo and Las Vegas. There's the NFR Insider and One-on-One with Susan Canode, Gold Buckle Buzz with Brian Hurlburt, NFR Experience with Patrick Everson, and the Junior NFR with Jack Nowlin. There's something for all rodeo fans. Check it out at nfrexperience.com. The NFR and Las Vegas, where every moment is legendary. Well, I've never met Garth, but an outsider's perspective, he looks like a very creative guy. So do you have to kind of give him some guardrails from time to time to keep him from...
Which is really funny you should say that, because Garth and I have been friends for 30 years, so I know him pretty well. But I mean, as with any relationship, how well do you really know a person?
Right.
And so we've been on a media guy or a superstar artist guy relationship for 30 years. It's not like we went out to lunch and played mahjong together.
I get that.
But we've had a good relationship. And one thing I was worried about coming into this was, how hands-on is he going to be? Is he going to micromanage what we're doing? Just because he is such I don't want to say control freak, but he's a little bit of a control freak in what he likes and what he wants done and how he wants it done. And that's why he's so successful. So I'm not saying that in a negative way at all. And so, but I walked into the complete opposite. He hired the most amazing staff, despite me. He hired the most amazing staff, and we all work together great. We all are really, really good at our jobs. And that's not boasting. That's just the reality of a lot of people with a lot of experience having done, like yourselves. I mean, it's like, you know what you're doing by this time in your career. And he trusted that. And he says, I'm going to just turn you guys loose, make great radio.
That's awesome to hear, though, because I think Brylan would agree. When you're surrounded by people that are good at their job and they were hired to do their job, and then you let them, allow them to do their job, it's amazing what can happen.
What a concept, right? What a concept. And I've worked in situations that weren't like that. In fact, the 180, the opposite. And it's just much more beneficial to everybody, the listener, the staff, everybody. If you just stay out of the way, get in the way when something's going bad, but if it's going right, stay out of the way. Yeah. And that's what Garth has done and told us. That's the way his approach was to this. So we've got Tailgate Radio, which is the best soundtrack to any party on the planet. We've got the Garth channel, and then my channel, the Big 615. And those three are under the umbrella of the Sevens Network, which of course was Garth Brooks' favorite number. Yep. And he just had a birthday on February 7th.
So you'll get a kick out of this. So, when you're listening to the radio in your car, images of old albums will come up, and my kids love roasting some of those old Garth shirts. I mean, and they're like, Dad, what was this guy thinking wearing that? And I'm like, son, it was the 90s. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I can't spill the beans, but here's a nice little tea I'm going to spill right here. If you like those shirts, buckle in.
Oh, gosh. I'm going to have to buy some just so my son's like, wait, Dad, where'd you get that? Well, some guy named Garth.
That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
All I'm going to say. And Garth is going to probably text me right now, eavesdropping. And he's going to go, you son of a...
Stop talking. Push the mute button.
Exactly. But yeah, he's already got a few shows on the books for 2026, Hyde Park in London. He's doing Summerfest in Milwaukee, and something tells me I don't think that's going to be on. So,
well, I want to know a little bit too about your perspective, because Bo Gardner was telling us that you had a fantastic time with the LVE team at the rodeo. So give us a little bit of your insight for the performance itself.
That was neat. I think I'd only been to one other NFR live event, and that was probably 20 years ago when I went to go see Charlie Daniels do the Open, and that was it. And so to walk back in and to see the spectacle that the NFR has become, and that's in a positive way. I'm not saying it's a spectacle. It is an event. I mean, it is run like a Super Bowl every night. And they do such an amazing job. If you walk in and you've never seen rodeo in your life, it doesn't matter. you are a part of something that you can't help but feel and be connected to. And if you've been in rodeo and cowboy life your entire life, you're just in heaven, because it's just everything you want: the sounds, the energy, the announcers, by the way, and everybody who's a part of it. It just is amazing. And we were up in a suite with a bunch of really fun cowboy loving NFR rodeo fans, and then actors and musicians, and it's just an incredible array of people. So it just made for a really, really great night. And I brought a friend of mine from Seattle who has never been to a rodeo in his entire life. And he just was in awe. He goes, "What is this world?" I said, "Welcome to it. You're never going to forget it." And that's what it is. So I only went one night to the rodeo this past December, but my goal is to hit as many as I can this coming December.
I just want to backtrack on what took you to Nashville and started the Sirius XM in that journey.
Well, I grew up in Oklahoma, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Started radio at 13 years old. I went on a 7th grade field trip to a radio station, which was my idea. They were looking for a career day, and I went, radio station, this one, the one I listen to every morning. I want to go there, and it was right down the street. And so we did, and we took a tour. And as soon as I saw what the radio looked like behind, it's like pulling the curtain back on Oz and the Wizard of Oz. I just went, "This is how it works," and just was instantly hooked. And I never went away. I came back the next day, and they're like, "Well, yeah, that was a field trip yesterday. What are you doing back here?" And I said, "I'm not leaving." And so I came in, and they just put me to work almost instantly. And by the time I was 14, I had my first radio show.
Wow.
And then I moved to California with my family and had to start over from scratch because I was 15 by then. Nobody in LA cared about a 15-year-old kid walking into radio. So I had to start completely over. And we ended up working for a rock station in Oxnard, California, a country station in Ventura, and then pirate radio, the biggest hair band radio show on the planet at the time. Right out of the heart of Sunset Boulevard in LA, and worked there for a while. And while I was working at CNN, then Charlie Daniels comes on to CNN. I get him. I wanted to meet him. So, and I had never done a television interview before. So I figured if I only had one shot at it working at CNN to try to get a gig on the entertainment show, which was Showbiz Today was the name of the show. I wanted to pick my idol, Charlie Daniels, because if I never got another chance to do this, then why not take the shot at my childhood idol, Charlie Daniels? So got him. He was coming through LA, and I interviewed him, and then we had a blast. I was an idiot during the interview. I mean, I was 18 years old. I mean, my God, 19 years old. It's like, here's a piece of paper. So, Charlie, you play a really good fiddle, right? I was just an idiot. But he answered the questions like Walter Cronkite or whoever Anderson Cooper was asking the questions. Yeah. And he treated me really kind. And we kept that relationship. Every time he came back through LA, I made sure he got on CNN, and he appreciated that. And so finally one day he puts his arm around my shoulder. We're in the break room overlooking the skyline of Hollywood. And he goes, "Son, it's time you came to Nashville." I'm like, "Huh?" "It's time you came to Nashville." And I loved TuneIn, the old Nashville network, Crook and Chase, Ralph Emery. Yes. I was obsessed with watching those shows as a kid. And I would race home for my college classes just to watch those shows on TuneIn. And he goes, "Well, what would you like to do in Nashville?" I said, "Well, I want to work for Crook and Chase." It was a great TV show. It was basically Showbiz Today, what I was doing on CNN, but for country music out of Nashville. And he goes, "All right, I think you need to do it." He goes, "Look out here. LA doesn't need you. LA doesn't want you. They'll chew you up and spit you out, make another one that looks just like you. But Nashville needs you." And I went, "Okay." And 2 weeks later, I packed up my pickup truck, literally, and drove across country with my cat and all my stuff, and moved into a house that Charlie Daniels' wife found me, a rental house. And then the journey started there over 33 years ago.
Pretty good letter of recommendation.
Yeah, and funny you should say that because there actually is one. He wrote it to Crooked Chase, hand wrote it on Charlie stationery.
That's
and I
amazing.
never knew he did that until 5 years into my stint at TuneIn at Crooked Chase. And my operations manager goes, "Have you ever seen this?" And I'm like, no.
Please tell me that's framed somewhere.
It better be.
I don't have it right now, and I don't know where it is. I think what happened was he put it back in the file cabinet, and I never got it, but I saw it.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll take your word for it. I mean, nobody's gonna call you out on its authenticity.
Hey, I got his golden fiddle over my shoulder.
There you go. I
That
like
is
it. I like it. So from legends like Charlie, I mean, everyone
Yeah.
always says, you know, here comes the next overnight success, but I obviously believe it takes a long time to make those. Who do you see coming down the pike that we need to be listening to that we're not yet?
Well, it's almost the horses out of the barn already on this one, but Ella Langley is going to become the next biggest. I mean, Lainey Wilson needs to keep her head cocked over her shoulder a little bit because Ella is screaming up the charts. I mean, I think she's number one on the Billboard Top 100 this week with Shoes in Texas, and I've heard the rest of the album that's coming, the song Dandelion and a bunch of others. There's so many other songs from her. So I think it's going to be tough to say anybody's going to be bigger than her right now. Maybe the closest on the male side would be Zach Top. And he's on fire right now. But there's some young guns. I love Tucker Wetmore.
Yes.
I think Tucker is just a good dude. And we got a chance to hang out. My wife and Tucker ended up hitting it off. And I'm like, wait, okay, this is a little too close. But no, they ended up hitting it off. And they had a blast. And there's just some great music coming up. And there's traditional music coming back. And there's a fire in country music. And there's songwriting that is returning to country music that we have not heard. There's heart and soul and emotion coming back to country music. We survived the bro country phase. And then, I mean, and which was fun.
Right.
It was a great run. But man, country music is about the stories, it's about the emotion, it's about the heart. And it's like, if we could get back there or even split the difference, I don't care. But as long as we have the balance of having those types of songs, the Cody Johnson songs, you know, the Ella Langley songs, Lainey Wilson, Carly Pierce, you got a bunch of artists that are singing. Lee Bryce, Eric Church, they're singing real music.
Yeah, and I think that's spot on. There's an authenticity, you know, and that's the word that keeps 100%. Coming to mind is you can just feel it coming through the speakers that like these people have lived some of these stories. It's not just, you know, a pickup truck and a beer and a dirt road. Like, I mean, it's real. I
don't know about you. Do you guys feel the same thing? Throughout my career, we could listen to 100 songs and then 3 of them will put chill bumps on my skin. And that's when you know you found the right one. And it's like it's like first time I heard Miranda Lambert's House That Built Me.
Yes.
I lost it.
Yes.
I mean, that was just like, okay, done. Yeah, that's a perfect song. And they're starting to come more frequently now, which I really, really like. And it makes my job a lot more fun.
Well,
you know,
and you just talked about Choosing Texas. Like that's an easy song to listen to and it's so fun.
Sure.
But then when you talked about Dandelion, like the first time I heard it, like those dramatic pauses in that song, like it's art. It's not just a song, you know?
Absolutely.
So yeah. I think you're spot on.
Yeah, and it's fun. And she also has, you know, You Look Like You Love Me with Riley Green, which is just silly and quirky and kitschy. But yeah, when then you hear Dandelion and you go, uh-oh. And what's Weren't for the Wind is another one.
Yes. Very much so.
Oh, that one hit me hard. But yeah, it's a joy when, and I'm a amateur novice wannabe kind of songwriter. So to me, it's like going to school every time I have to listen or get to listen to new music because I'm just studying every aspect of what's coming out. And I've written probably about 15 songs, and every time I do, and then something like a Dandelion comes along, I'm like, why am I even trying this?
I knew I needed something to start a fire with. Oh,
yeah, exactly. Okay, never mind. It's really funny. Well, the good news is Bo was kind enough to invite me back for 2026, so you're stuck with me.
No, we're not stuck. We are so glad that you're part of the lineup, and your perspective and the type of people that you can bring to our audience is just, it's awesome, because you do get some of those people that, hey, you may book them in the summertime and then they have this meteoric rise like a Riley Green where it changes the day. I mean, people put that on their calendar.
Yeah, that's going to be the fun way. Now that I know that I'm booking this thing, I have a little more lead time to handpick a better roster. Not better, but just handpick a selection of people that I think the audience is really, really going to dive into. One of my favorite shows this past year was in December was the Bellamy Brothers. They were unbelievable.
Yeah,
they're celebrating their 50th year, and that was huge.
Well, and they live about 50 miles from me, and they're so unassuming, just great guys. And if you ever get a chance, which I know you have, just to sit down and chat with them, I mean, it'd be like talking to a couple of old ranchers, I mean, like no big 100%. Deal. But they go out there and everybody loves them.
I've traveled around the world with them on USO tours. I've done so many things over the past 30, 40 years with them, and they have never changed. They're just good old Florida boys.
Yes, sir. Well, Storme, we really appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing everything that you're going to do with your Storme Sessions in the future.
And congrats on all your success. And Brian, it's so good to meet you. And I'll do the proper.
There you go. A tip of the hat.
So I'm learning. I'll get better at it. I promise.
Storme, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us on the NFR Extra.
Thank you.
Got it. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in December.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Want to experience more of the NFR? Then visit nfrexperience.com, and we invite you to subscribe to NFR Extra on Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and wherever you're listening right now. If you like what you've heard on NFR Extra, we would love it if you gave us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe.